People are angry. Why? Because the system is broken. What is it this week? It's the stock market. We're shining a big old spotlight on how inefficient and unequal that system is, and that a small, increasingly smaller group of people are getting extraordinarily bigger, wealthier and wealthier, while this increasingly larger group is getting poorer and poorer, and the stock market is a huge example of how that's causing that inequality. Let's take a closer look. Why are people angry? Because they don't like being messed with. Where else has this happened in history? Well, it's happened a lot. Let's go all the way back on to 1773, the Boston Tea Party. The Sons of Liberty was this small group of people that were drinking tea and having these great conversations, and they were jiving, and they were juking and snooking and pooking, and all of a sudden Britain says, you know what, we're going to tax that tea a lot higher, and we're going to make it a lot worse for you guys. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're messing with our good stuff here. We didn't do anything to you guys. Leave us alone. And what did they do? They rose up and they grew bigger, and they grew a movement. And then they had this Boston Tea Party where they threw all the tea off the ships in revolt. And it started this huge mass movement, a revolution, changed society as we know it today. So how is this happening now? Well, Robinhood and this other group of stocks like Best Buy, AMC, these basically dead retail stocks that have come up from the grave, and a group of people, these Reddit revolters, I call them, are getting together and coordinating a mass, using technology, way to express themselves to say, number one, we're sick and tired of seeing what's going on in terms of the rich getting richer and the poor just sitting on the sidelines getting poorer, and those numbers are getting bigger and bigger in terms of the separation and the percentages. And so what do they want to do? They want to make a little bit of money, and they also wanted to stick it to the man at the same time. And so far they're succeeding. It's been about a week or so of this, and GameStop, it's gone up, down, but mostly it's gone way up, and some of these hedge fund managers have really had it stuck to them. And one of them almost went out of business the other day. It had to get bailed out. And I mean, people are just going ballistic. So it's this technology that has changed. It's reduced the friction to make it so much easier to now get together and try to fix some of these systems that are broken. Is this good? Is this bad in terms of this GameStop stuff? I don't know. I guess we'll see how this plays out. I think that there's good and bad in terms of, I think there's a lot of people that are now going to come to the stock market, younger generation that never would have known about it before. They don't teach this stuff in schools. They absolutely should. I'm always preaching to the choir, telling you guys, you got to understand passive income generators such as the stock market, real estate, these types of things. So that part of it, I think, is great, that's coming to the forefront. People are understanding the importance, and hopefully will get involved and educate themselves and start using and actually trading stocks responsibly. Obviously, then there's the other side, which it's a little scary in terms of how much the stock market's getting disrupted. Is this going to cause a huge crash? Are a lot of people going to get burned and hurt that shouldn't? We don't know how it's going to shake out. My advice to you, though, just sit on the sidelines, grab a bag of popcorn. Do not try to dip your toe in it. Do not try to get involved. If anything, a teensy tiny little amount if you just can't help yourself. But do not do a full short position. If you do it the wrong way, it's an infinite amount of money that you can lose. You're going to want to use an option to short it. And I'm not going to get into how you do that. You can look that up on the internet. But that way, it's only a finite amount of small money that you can lose versus an infinite amount. At the end of the day, as my man Stan Lee once said, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. The world is changing, and in a lot of ways, it's changing for the worse. And now this technology is coming along that's allowing people from all over the world to gather, just like they did back in 1771 in those little pubs with their tea. But now it's in huge numbers, and they can communicate instantly from anywhere in the world. And so to me, this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of using the power of being able to get together, and technology and anger of things that are broken, this stock market being just the most recent example, but there's tons of them, to start changing the system, which is absolutely needed. So I support that part of it. How are you going to use technology? What legacy are you going to leave? How are you going to use it for good versus bad? Are you going to leave the world better or worse for having you in it? Those are the questions I want you to think about as you move forward. Thanks for tuning in.
Get moving, build momentum, join the movement. Go to moremomentum.com to take a free Life Evaluator Quiz on where you currently stand in each of your 5 cores.